back to me. The first that I tried to leave, like a mirage, like a mirage. The scars that you know like me, on my arms I am empty, like a mirage, like a mirage.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to season's broadcast of SRAs. Another season. So far, we're gonna, open the books to another fresh page and start a new story. That story begins, of course, with the first race of the calendar, Indianapolis.
Looks like he lines up a move. Oh, this is good tight racing right here.
Inside or outside, what's gonna happen?
That's turn 7 into the grass. Heavy booping the snoot on the barrier.
Oh, side by side into the chicane. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And we're off and away for SRA.
SRA Nation, after a long break, we are back with Division 2, Round 6. And today is a great Wednesday because not only is it Whopper Wednesday, and not only is it Division 2 that's racing tonight, but we are racing at Circuit of the Americas, one of my, if not my favorite track, not just in ACC, but in the world. I mean, like, I love this place. Totally not because I've been here with my good friend Donovan. Jack is obviously the odd man out and an avid hater of Coda, as we all know from round 1, which was established a couple weeks ago. But welcome back to the tail end of this season. It's really coming to a close pretty quick, but once again joined by my dear friends Donovan and Jack. How are we doing today?
Good. Whopper Wednesday, Coda Wednesday.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm feeling good.
We got a trademark.
I'm doing well. Despite my Coda hate, it does put up some very good racing. So I'm not driving tonight, so it's fine.
Jack, can you
have a good time.
Can you tell us how your Coda experience was last night in the first 20 minutes? Can you just give a quick glimpse?
So I'm sure we will talk about this a lot throughout the night, but my Coda experience was pulling off 3 track cuts in the first 4 laps of the race or so, and then driving the whole rest of the race on pins and needles.
That's how it'd be around here, honestly. And it's actually quite the same story at a lot of the tracks. I feel like this season, it's very easy to get track cuts, not just at Coda, but we have our race next week, Hungaroring. Obviously, no stranger to getting limits on exit of turn 4. But we are not here to talk about Hungaroring. We are here to talk about my beloved, the Circuit of the Americas, located, of course, in the Lone Star State of Texas, United States of America. The only race on the calendar. Actually, no, we have 2 races in the USA this year, or this season of SRA. We have Laguna Seca, which is in California. I believe it's it's Monterey or something, or I might be wrong, but
Monterey, yeah,
Monterey, California. So we are back under the sun. It's actually quite early in the morning here. So basically, we are the support series for the Lone Star Le Mans, if you want, if you will, with this race. But obviously a lot to talk about with this track at Coda. Very, very easy to go 4, 5, 6 wide at turn 1. We might see some overtaking maneuvers here, but a very notable point about this corner is that the apex really pinches you. So honestly, the outside line, not so bad, especially going to turn 2. That outside becomes the inside for turn 2. And of course, the very infamous 3, 4, 5, 6 corners of Sector 1. Actually, Sector 1 ends after turn 4. So track map isn't exactly accurate, but very easy to invalidate in those sections. Heading into turn 7, sector 2. Honestly, I think one of the hardest corners on the track, the sequence of turn 8 and 9 right here. It's so easy to invalidate because it's all uphill. Very difficult to get traction on the rears. And it's very easy to kind of bleed out on throttle on exit of turn 9 off the limit there. So I think that's going to be a very likely spot for drivers to get drive-thrus today, and we're going to talk more about the drive-through aspect of this race because there are a couple of predictions in the Twitch stream last night from certain drivers, but we'll get to that later. Heading into the hairpin at turn 11, long straight down to turn 12. It's obviously visibly quite long. Doesn't actually really get you that high up on speeds because quite a bit of it is uphill. So really the cars that you will see get a lot of maneuvers done here. Of course, the likes of the Lexus, the Nissan, but don't expect them to be super clear heading to the braking zone, because turn 12, another hard braking zone into sector 3. It actually starts about halfway down the straight, closer to the braking zone, turn 12, heading to the stadium section. Very nice section to be a part of if you're spectating. I know Don and I, we were at again Lone Star Le Mans last year in September. Gotta say, probably one of the best places to be watching the race, if not the best place to be. Yeah, it's great. But of course, my favorite track on the on this circuit, Gravitron, aka turn 15 or turn 16 rather, on this track map. I like to call it Gravitron because it just pulls you in on the right side with the racing line. Just get the grip on the right side, gravitates you towards the inside line. Heading to turn 19 and 20, pretty difficult corners here. Very easy to run wide in turn 19 and turn 20. Very easy to also lock up the brakes, the fronts here. If you're driving cars like the 992, I know there's a lot of Porsche enthusiasts here. It's very prone to doing that. So not the easiest of tracks, but we will make do with what we got. Coda, again, fantastic for racing, but for hot lapping, we'll see what happens. Of course, qualifying is half the battle. Let's talk about the driver standings.
Yeah, and it is heating up. Mason Moffitt kind of losing his lead a little bit, but I mean, he's still got a pretty good lead, 49 points over Filipinas Mueller. He had his first win in SRA last, or I guess 2 weeks ago at Donington, followed by Tyler Egley, Thomas Olhausen, Michael Jeffries in P5, which is pretty impressive considering he lost out on what, two races, something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, so he's gotten a lot of podiums, so yeah, in a solid position. Going down to the silvers, it's still tight, not quite as tight as it was last week, but still very tight between Sean Curcio, Jess Osborne, and Caleb Tenney here for the silver championship. But yeah, so it's a little bit spread out in some places, but some places keeping it super tight, like that silver championship. For the team standings. Yeah, true. Mike Gino and Mason Moffitt, I feel like they're closing in a little bit, which is interesting despite Philip and Thomas having such good positions. But I mean, Mason has been really strong this season, and Mike has had a few good races. I think his last race at Donington, I don't remember what position he got actually, but I believe it was a solid position. So bringing it up closer, but then it's a massive gap to P3 with Sig SVG, fellow commentator by the way, and Tyler Egley. I mean, that's 242 points is the gap to P1 there. So that's a big gap there.
Yeah, it's definitely one to talk about. Really looking at the full scope of the season, Tyler Egley obviously started out in silver, was promoted to gold after having a pretty shocking pole position at Laguna Seca. We obviously know the Mustang isn't known for its nimbleness, its agility, known for being more of a powerhouse down the straights of, the back straight of Coda, for example, being one of them. Was able to put it on pole, and he hasn't really looked back since. Of course, had a few struggle races at Monza, but really Tyler Egley has been class of the field in terms of, was champion in D4 gold last season, was promoted to D2 silver, now is D2 gold. So it really just goes to show that practice does make perfect, or at least puts you in a better position racing against the faster guys. So obviously in free practice right now, one thing to talk about, of course, is the track conditions. Guys, tell the viewers about what we're expecting today.
I can take this one if you'd like. Should be pretty interesting. Temperatures are pretty mild, a little bit hot, but nothing too crazy. Coda will warm up your tires quite a bit with all the corners. But the big thing that we're looking at here is the word right under that track sign in the top right. That is fast currently. Certainly in the D1 race yesterday, we had a fast track through all of qualifying. There are more cars here tonight in D2, so that may change in qualifying from fast to optimum. And we might see some big time improvements later on in the qualifying. Perhaps some people will stay late in the pits to get as much optimum racing as possible. That'll be interesting to see, but that'll be the biggest thing to note. Race will be optimum throughout the whole thing, though, so we won't see too much happening there.
Yeah, definitely a big indicator of the track condition improving is the amount of cars that we're going to have on track. And right now, let's say compared to D1, last night we had, I think at most qualifying was, I know Jack, you had a quality ban, so you didn't get to drive in the low grip conditions, but we had, I think it was fast up until the very, very last lap of the gold drivers, which I wasn't even able to take advantage of. I think the tires just fell away too fast for me, but yeah, it really depends on the amount of people on track. I think with this number though, we should be hitting optimum probably about maybe 2 laps into gold qualifying, if I had to guess. I think let's see, there's probably about, I think there's relatively even split between silver and gold drivers, so it should be pretty close to being optimum by the end of the silvers.
Yeah, and that makes such a big difference at this track. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Sector 1 especially just is so difficult. Or I guess really end of Sector 1, beginning of Sector 2 is just so difficult on that in a fast track setting, because it can be a bit slick even, you know, with a totally optimum track. So definitely it's gonna, you know, they're gonna be hoping to get it optimum as quickly as possible, and yeah, the extra cars definitely will help out with that.
So just to confirm, there are 20 silvers and only 13 golds.
Ooh, wow.
So not quite 50-50, but
Okay.
a little bit close.
I guess another thing to talk about as well, there's obviously some strategy involved with the evolving track conditions and qualifying as well. The last car that will go out will obviously have the best conditions, so that being at this point in time, I mean, it's not really going to be easy to see, but you can see car number 97 still coming out of the pits. 86, Pat Cockcroft is the first one out of the pits, so really paving the way, putting the rubber down through the S's here. Jess Osborne on board right now. It looks like we see 211. I believe that's Shane Lewis. We have
68.
we have 688. That's Sam Stott with his livery not shown. So I did sync. Remember, he did ask me, so I will do that. I mean, I don't know. That's his fault. I definitely did sync. So. Oh, bozo.
I was there.
Yeah, you saw me do. Well, you didn't actually see me do it, but I did verbally say I gotta sync because Sam said I have to.
Yeah, my response was sync these.
True.
Iconic response.
We're not gonna be on board with this very carbon-looking car. Let's go on board with. Let's see. I do want to talk about the Lexi right here. We obviously see Sean Curcio and Lucas Conzeris right next to each other on the track. Lexus is going to be a struggle around this track. Very, very tough to drive in a low fuel. When everyone else is on low fuel, it's just not great. Really loses a lot of pace in Sector 3 with all the tight corners. You know, cars like the Porsche 992 right in front of them at the moment. It's going to be very quick in those sections, but the Lexus is probably, if not the worst car, I'd probably say through Sector 3.
Yeah, it's not great. But it's funny. I still like driving it here. Maybe it's just because I like driving the car, and I do like this track. I don't love the track limits in ACC at this track, but otherwise, I like driving this car around here. I still that was close.
That was
there
close,
from,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, that was close.
Teammate there. But yeah, I still had one of my favorite battles, which was back in D3 when I was in the Lexus fighting against the 992, and yeah, it was, I'm sure, extremely frustrating for the 992 because I was in front, and on the straight I just pull away every time, and every you know Sector 3 and Sector 1 and 2, you would just get right up on me again. But yeah, definitely want to get everything you can in qualifying in this car.
I have a question for you, Donovan. Considering your love for Lexus, is there any track you don't like driving it on?
North's 24 hour.
Hey, I mean, well, that is like match in heaven.
Probably like a top 3
yeah,
track for it, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe the Nord's GP circuit. Let's say that.
That's
Because I
interesting
wish
one.
I was doing the Nords, or the actual full Nords, and not just the Nürburgring GP.
That's a cop-out answer.
True.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't think the Lexus is great around the GP, and it's just the fact that I don't really love the track. I don't know. I would like that track better if it wasn't attached to the Nords.
All right.
I think from my experience driving a Lexus, I know you didn't ask me specifically, but I'll still say something because I quite liked it at NURB GP. I know we're racing there later this season, so I'm curious to see how the Lexi do there. But I mean, you gotta mention Paul Ricard. The mile-long straight. It's obviously very, very strong in the straights, and it really doesn't suffer through Sector 3 as much as people think that it would. There's the only slow corners that exist aren't really corners that are that long. They're mostly just hairpins. Heading into Sector 3 of Paul Ricard, you obviously have the long sweeping right after the Mistral straight, which it doesn't really suffer too much at, as the drivers are coming across the line for the first time. Pat Cockcroft is leading right now. Sean Curcio is about 4/10 back, just Osborne right behind him by about a 10th. So yeah, a little bit surprising in terms of these flying laps. Pat Cockcroft, obviously the first one out on track and off to a flying start with these times at the moment. So let's see how the rest. Oh yeah, Lex is getting a little bit squirrely there under braking. So let's see if Sean Cursu can really pick his mojo back up in the next coming laps. Of course, not too many chances to get a good lap in here, because every single time you go through Sector 1, obviously, oh, look at that, Pablo Ferrer spun around, Barry Jerry to the top with his banker lap, the 207.1. Yeah, not too many opportunities here to get a good lap. Of course, you want to keep the car within the bounds of the racetrack, but you don't have too many opportunities. This is a long lap. It's about 2 minutes, 5 seconds on average. If probably we're going to see the D2 guys, D2 Gold guys doing some mid 205s, I presume. But yeah, it's basically do or die here in this qualifying session.
Well, you say do or die, and Jess Osborne has returned to the pits briefly. So he is already losing out on additional time, let alone do or die in the 10 that they have.
Yeah, was he the second yellow there? I wonder if there was just some contact between Pablo and Jess somehow when Pablo spun out. I don't know. That's speculation on my part.
Perhaps
yeah, that is
to avoid.
Yeah, this is not a good track for that to happen at. This is not one of those tracks that you want to go in for. I mean, it's just too long of a lap. It's not usually the move, especially with an evolving track like this, or in these conditions, with it being fast and 18 degrees. So it's actually relatively cool for Austin, Texas there.
Look at that, Tristan Zamora.
We are in the morning.
What a lap, though. That's a very good lap for Tristan Zamora. 206.0.
Oh, wow.
9/10 above Pat Cockcroft and the fellow 992. So really showing the boys how it's done. And he's improving already after turn 1. So there you go.
Yeah, that's 6.5 tenths faster than his fastest practice time.
Donovan just beat me to that.
But that's an
improvement.
lap, and he's still up, carrying up on that.
Looks
time,
like he
so.
improved most of the time through Sector 3. And a little bit in Sector 2, so the latter half of the track. Pretty interesting.
Yep.
I do want to mention, obviously, with the with every single race, we do have the balance performance adjustments. One of the stronger cars this week is the Ferrari 296. Right now, we're on board Steve Foster into P4. We did see him improving quite a bit. I think lost a little bit of time through Sector 3 there, but I do want to mention, I think the 296 is probably one of the better cars this week, just because of how nice it is on the fronts and the rears in general. Obviously, the traction works a treat in this car. Probably one of the only machines in this game with a functioning traction control. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a nice car to drive around the streets of COTA.
I will say from experience, while lap time was great and comfortability was quite high, it was still pretty difficult to pass. Certainly, in my perspective, I was fighting Lexi and Mustangs, and I could barely keep up with them at all through the straights. So if people can qualify well in the Ferrari, then they're set, but they might struggle a little bit during the race.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the nature of how these races go. If you've got a car that obviously is good on the straights, it's a good race car. If it's not good on the straights, you're gonna be looking back in your mirrors every single time you're going through, the exit onto the back straight. If you've got a Lexus behind you, for example, right now Sean Williams in P6, right behind him is Curtis Lee in P7. Can you just imagine Sean Williams on the start of the race, and now he's in a Lexus sandwich, so basically just prone to being overtaken at this point if they line up like this. Sean Curcio is actually in P2 right now, so good effort from him. Of course, nearly 8 tenths behind the top rival of the Silver Division right now, which is Tristan Zamora. So really just goes to show what a lap from Zamora there. Barry Jerry's actually really close to improving now, on board with him. Loses a little bit on exit, but it's going to be more than enough to put himself into P2 provisionally with a 206.2. So pretty good lap from him, boasting a purple sector 1 and 2, but just sector 3 not quick enough to be faster than Tristan Zamora here.
And Tristan hasn't been able to put in a time to best that 206.0. He's still flirting with a green delta, but still just can't get it all together. It's a tricky track to get that lap in, especially in fast conditions.
A bit of a slipstream here for Pablo Ferrer. You see the 296 trying to get up to speed. Notice the uphill, the incline there on the back straight, and then it goes downhill for a little bit, then it kind of tapers off. So really kind of hard to get for these cars to get up to speed as they approach the braking zone. It kind of just sneaks up on you at about 145 meters, 140 meters, and then struggling to get to the traction there after the braking phase for Pablo Ferrer. But Tristan Zamora retires to the garage, happy with his time, or seemingly wasn't able to improve. But one driver who is improving is Barry Jerry. Not going to get on board with him at the moment because he's about halfway through the lap. Of course, got sector 3 to go, so we'll see if he really does make any inroads there. A couple other drivers improving a lot would be Shane Lewis on the backstairs as well in the BMW. BMW is one of those cars that I think would be quite strong here. Obviously benefits from running max wing because it's still pretty good on the straights, it has good exits, just really struggles on tire wear. So let's see if the cool temps really make it come alive in this qualifying and possibly even the race.
Yeah, this is the first car and track combo that I ever did in ACC. This was the first track I learned, and I learned it in the BMW.
It's a damn good combo.
Yeah, it is. I don't think I've driven the BMW here since then, but Barry Jerry is coming up to the line with a sizable improvement, and if he keeps it together, he actually gains quite a bit more on the last time. This is
beautiful,
a great improvement. Yeah.
And look at that, as he crosses the line, the track has gone to optimum. So we talked about how the gold drivers will be able to utilize that advantage that they will get from the track condition. Well, there you go. It is now optimum.
Yep.
A couple more drivers crossing the line as the golds are already out on track. Philip Mueller leading them away in the car 39, and a couple other drivers, lagging behind. We talked about how maybe the strategical advantage of going out later is going to be pretty substantial here. You see Thomas Olhausen, that's Philip's teammate, with a car right behind him. I don't know who that is, but it looks like car 40 something. I presume that's either, it might be Mike Gino. No, it's not. I think it's it might be, yeah, it's Matt Artem of the American United Racing. That's obviously Matt Artem, not Matt Artem. It's Martin Smith's teammate, the Audi, token Audi drivers of SRA. But really going to be interesting to see how these gold drivers do in qualifying. Most notably, of course, Mason Moffitt, our championship leader, and his rivals, Thomas Olhausen and Philip Mueller are both his rivals, of course, for the drivers and the team championship. So there you go. It's going to be an interesting one.
A quick shout out, I just noticed towards the end, we had Jess Osborne and Shane Lewis. They both logged in their last laps with a 1.5 seconds and a second improvement, respectively. So that bumps them up to 3rd and 4th in silver.
Yeah, Jess Osborne with the fastest 3rd sector as well on that last lap. So yeah, huge improvement right at the end. Definitely That's what you always want to see in the.
Especially after his returning to the garage fiasco, whatever happened there.
Yeah, for sure. And especially with the track that's kind of hard to get a lap in, you know, if you're pushing it too hard and dealing with track limits, you know, you could kind of, I feel like it's not too bad if you just run a ton of practice laps. I feel like it's easier to keep it in check in qualifying than like the race when you're actually battling cars and following cars in the S's. That's, for me, is where it's harder to keep track limits in check here.
You do bring up a good point. Qualifying is very important here, obviously. If you start towards the front, you really don't have to pay attention and worry about anyone in front of you. To go through the S's, of course, a very, very scary section to go through following another car. It's just because you don't really see the apex, you don't see the turning points, you don't see the braking zones. It's it really can disrupt your muscle memory around this track. So, you know, of course, these drivers are going to be doing their absolute best to qualify as far up as they can. Of course, then strategy becomes very, very important. If trains do form in the race, then undercut is quite strong here.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be something to look out.
Hey, we see Selena Boonstra and her livery is present. Oh my goodness, that's got to be a first, right?
Yeah.
He's very close behind Olhausen here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just trusting Philip here. I think it was Philip. Did you say Olhausen or Philip? I don't remember.
Oh, I said Olhausen. I thought it was Philip. Or I thought it was Olhausen, but it is
one
Philip.
and the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
Differentials on their cars.
And Selena right behind him, so Selena's pretty quick around this track too. 9 and 2 is obviously quite strong on no bop applied, meaning it's I think it's the most punished by the BOP this week. It's about plus 20 or 25 kilograms, so pretty stark contrast from Donington Park last week, where it was about I want to say it was like minus 10 or minus 5. Now it is a plus 20, so big difference. A couple more times being put in. Mason Moffitt, the lead gold driver at the moment, with a 206.045. So Barry Jerry is still holding strong. I do think these times are just going to get so much faster as the time goes by. Thomas Olhausen right behind Mason, barely over 100 slower throughout the lap in P4 right now. So look, these times are going to be improving. Wilder Vargas in P9 as well. So we'll see how everyone shapes up. Martin Smith throughout the lap. I think the Audi is pretty strong this week as well. Obviously reaches the top speed pretty well, even through the uphill little bit on the back straight. So I think it's a car to look out for. Of course, a winner this season at Monza. So a lot of new winners I want to mention this season in D2. So it's been a very, very enjoyable championship thus far.
Quick fun fact, you brought up BOP, so I had to look this up because I was curious. The Porsche only has positive BOP at 4 tracks, and Coda is the most with 20. The other 3 are Hungaroring, which we have next week, Imola, and Suzuka, which are all plus 10.
Wow, so 3 of the 4 tracks we have this season.
Yes, actually.
Not the greatest Porsche track, or you could say that it's a good Porsche calendar, just given how it's naturally better at those circuits. But of course, the idea of the BOP is to balance all the cars across each other over the course of a lap. But right now, of course, a lot of drivers improving. Martin Smith is one of them, basically around even to Barry Jerry's time, but Mason Moffitt is improving by 0.4 as he approaches the last corner on the racetrack. It's going to get a nice exit here, a little bit loose on exit there, just trying to put the power down, but gets to the line with a 205.702. Let's see if anyone has an answer for that. Right behind him is Tyler Egley. It's going to jump to the top of the 205.6. So the Mustang is quite competitive this week as opposed to last week. It looked like Tyler was just struggling. Oh, Mason Moffitt going for a little bit of an e-brake, playing a bit too much Forza Horizon 6 there, trying to get around the hairpin there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the optimal way to take that hairpin.
It's the Bowie knife 99 line right there.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
That's funny.
Get on board with Philip here. Obviously, got some spots to gain, about half a second behind Tyler Egley in this current session with only 2 minutes to go. But he was the first driver out, so he's effectively got the worst conditions out of anybody on the track. It's quiet around Coda, these parts.
Yeah, I unfortunately had.
Where's the energy, boys?
Well, I'm trying to deal with some battles on my end real quick, so I had my internet go out and yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, quick update on the lap times right now. Philip Mueller is improving by a pretty steady margin across the lap, so he's about half a second up on his time, which would put him closer to the top. But one man who is improving a lot is Tyler Eggley. He's about 0.3 up on his time, entering the stadium section as we speak. Right now he's approaching Gravitron on the track map. A bit harder to spot, but he's right behind, I believe that's car 316 of Wilder Vargas, so could be a strong lap for him. But Philip Mueller rounds the final corner, promotes himself into provisional P1. Right behind him is Selena Boonstra, who does not improve. So Philip Mueller starting off strong on his final lap right now in a good spot with a 205.4. But we'll see what Tyler Eggley can say in response to that. The Mustang obviously looking very pacey right now. Gets a good exit. It's going to be enough of improvement to put him into P1 with a 205.437. So very tight margins there. Just losing out a little bit. Maybe the slipstream helped him from Wilder Vargas just a tad bit. The Ferrari helping out another competitor there. So Wilder Vargas sitting in P9. Maybe getting too worried about his mirror, seeing Tyler Eggley, of course, being the fastest man on track at the moment. Concerned about, am I holding this guy up or what's going on? But looking at the conditions, the track is getting warmer and warmer. So the man who will have the best conditions right now is car 415, that Matt Ardham, in the Audi crossing the line. So that's the final driver to cross the line for this qualifying session. So whatever laps are set from now on will be the final ones. Let's see who is improving at the moment. Mason Moffitt, championship leader, of course, in P3. A pretty good spot for him points wise, but he is improving a little bit. But more crucially enough, Tyler Eggley and Philip Mueller have both invalidated their final laps. So it's really do or die for Mason at this point in time. If you can even get ahead of one of them, it would spell huge gains in terms of starting positions. But also Thomas Olhausen, don't forget him, don't count him out. Of course, a winner this season as well at Laguna Seca after pulling off a pretty amazing strategy call with the overcut while the drivers were battling. But Mason Moffitt right now looking to improve substantially on his time. Nico Suave as well. We see Mustang number 1, or rather car 301 on pole position. Let's see if Nico Suave can bring that Mustang any closer to the front of the grid. Obviously Nico Suave, very big fan of Coda as it is right now, but improving by quite a bit. It should put him pretty far up the standings at this point in time, but we're not going to curse him. We're going to get on with Thomas Olhausen, another rival of the championship, both team and drivers, and everyone is improving so far. No invalidations at this point in time, knock on wood, but Thomas Olhausen is up 4/10, ladies and gentlemen. He's up 4/10, which would put him past not only his team, but also Tyler Eggley. Another driver, Mason Moffitt, rounding the final corner, does lose it on exit, so it's not going to be an improvement of position, but it'll be an improvement in time that could prove crucial. Nico Suave improving to P4, so very fantastic session from him. Wilder Vargas into P6, fantastic at the death there. As qualifying does round to a close, Law Drivers crossing line, Mike Gino in P11, Selena Brewster P10, Tristan DeBoer and Barry Jerry having some very strong times to boast in the top 10. But Thomas Olhausen has just one more corner to go, and he could see himself on the top step of the grid for this time. And it's going to be Thomas Olhausen on exit from the final corner. Does fall away a little bit, but it's going to be at the death, Thomas Olhausen. We talked about how he was closer to the end of the queue in qualifying, and he does get the best condition, which boasts the best time. So Thomas Olhausen on pole position. If you remember a couple seasons back, he was on pole in that very forsaken D2 race with a disconnect. So let's see if is it redemption day for Thomas? Is it redemption for Mason getting back on the top of the podium? Find out in a couple minutes time after this sponsored message.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and total sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT 3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specializing in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
And a new SRA sponsor, Echoes of Nox. Explore an abandoned space station as you uncover the secrets of why you were left behind. Fight with 3 AI factions and reclaim the station. Wishlist Echoes of Nox on Steam today, releasing in Q2 of 2026. And we are back just in time. These drivers are coming off their grid spots, and it is starting optimum. So for these Nissan, Ford, and Nissan McLaren drivers, they're going to feel the peak level of grip. Maybe not quite peak, but it is it's definitely nicer than the start of the qualifying session. But welcome back to Division 2, Round 6. We are racing at Circuit of the Americas. If you're just joining us now, you have missed out on a pretty exhilarating qualifying session, which saw Thomas Olhausen take pole position at the very last minute, with Tyler Egley right behind him. So a resurgence drive from him possibly this evening. And Philip Mueller, Thomas's teammate, sitting in P3, I believe, or maybe the grid is a little bit wonky right now. But Mason Moffitt has got some work to do because he is currently the championship leader, and he's got the Nissans basically breathing down his neck at this point in time. Obviously, the Nissan is quite strong here, but let's run through the rest of the grid. Thomas Olhausen, of course, starting on pole position here. Let's see, where's the camera? There it is. We got Tyler Egley in P2, Mason Moffitt in P3. I guess. Philip Mueller in P4, yeah. Nico Suave in P5. We got Wilder Vargas, strong performance from him in P6. Barry Jerry, our lead silver driver, in P7. Tristan Zamora in P8. I believe he's P9, so I'm not sure what that's about. But Martin Smith is right behind him or ahead of him. We don't know. Mike Gino in P10. Actually, I believe Mike is in 11th, Sleeves in 10th. I don't know what's going on. We'll see the final grid as we round obviously the last corner, but Crimson Bat lining just outside of the top 10 in P12. Trey Morgan in lucky number 13. We just saw a car flying by. That's Jess Osborne in P14. We got Matt Artem in P15. We got Juan Caro in P16. Shane Lewis in P17. Sean Curcio in P18. We got Caleb Tenney in P19. Pat Cockcroft in P20. We got Sig SVG in P21. We got Steve Foster in P22. Rene Yoki. Stronger qualifying from him this evening in P23. Lucas Clanzeris in P24. We got Sean Williams in P25 in the Roxy livery. We got Curtis Lee in P26 in the beautiful Lexus. We got Travis Fletcher in P27. Pablo Ferrer in 28th. We got Bearded Badass in P29 and Roger Rodriguez in 30th. Mac Morgan returning in P31. We got Sam Stott. Pretty shocking qualifying from him in P32. And rounding out the final spot on the grid is Ramon Lorenzo. So obviously a little bit quicker through the grid this time, but what are the storylines this evening if you guys have any of those prepared?
Well, I want to point out the silver because the championship battle, is between Sean Curcio, Jess Osborne, and Caleb Tenney, and they are way behind Barry Jerry and Tristan Zamora here. Jess Osborne, a couple cars between him and Sean Curcio, so that'll be good for his championship. But yeah, those other two silver drivers way up there in the order.
Definitely something to look out for sure. Barry Jerry obviously sitting in P7, so he's going to be really, really cautious probably on lap 1 as the cars are starting to line up side by side, 2 by 2. As we are rounding the final couple of corners in Sector 3, Thomas Olhausen starting from pole, I believe for the first time this season, so really coming alive in qualifying this evening. But will he be able to convert it into a victory? Of course, very, very strong around this track as Thomas Olhausen wasn't able to capitalize on the victory a couple seasons back just because of a very unfortunate disconnect, which we, all of us D2 spectators know about. But is this going to be redemption day for Thomas Olhausen? We're going to find out in about an hour time, but we do have one pit stop to go. These drivers are lining up on the main straight up all the way. It's about a 100-foot climb, I believe, up into turn 1. So it's going to be a long run, and we are passing the lights, and we do go green. Thomas Olhausen's quite a bit ahead. Looks like Matt Artem got a good start. Philip Mueller, a little bit of contact, pushing Tyler Egley off the side. Mason Moffitt taking the inside line at turn 1 is able to make it past Tyler Egley, but Philip Mueller is promoting himself into P2, so it's the teammate 1-2 right now. Philip Mueller does see Tyler Egley on the inside. They barely almost make contact, but it's so super clean between the two. Very respectful driving between the two gold drivers there. It looks like everyone has negotiated just fine. It looks like a couple yellow flags. It's going to be 97 and 1/3 Travis Fletcher and Pablo Ferrer maybe colliding with some other cars, but pretty smooth getaway for a lot of the drivers. Let's see where Barry Jerry has been overtaken by Tristan Zamora, so pretty strong start for the Porsche 992 driver. Wilder Vargas and Selena Booster have also gotten away pretty well, but Crimson Bat has fallen away from the rear bumper of Selena Booster. It looks like Martin Smith going for maybe a little bit of a half send on Mason Moffitt here, but the two Nissan GTRs have gotten away pretty much as best as they could have.
Yeah, and these two drivers are good here. If I recall correctly, it was actually Philip who disconnected from the lead on that race a couple seasons ago. But yeah, both of them very, very strong here in race trim. So they are in the perfect position, 1-2, to control this race, both for the team championship and their individual championships here.
And you mentioned Martin Smith. He's already up 4 positions from his start. So
oh no! Trey collides with Juan Caro, car 565, and Matt Artem reaps the rewards. And it looks like there's a parking lot. It's just the worst place to have an accident. The corner's so tight itself. Heading to the stadium section, there has been a blockage on I don't know what the main interstate is in Austin, Texas. Otherwise, I would have filled it in there. But you get the idea. Not the race start Trey would have wanted, but Mac Morgan is still alive, so there you go. Well, at least one of the Morgans is up and going.
Yeah, that was not ideal, that's for sure. Yeah, it's hard to see exactly what happened, but Martin Smith definitely further capitalizing off of that. I mean, he's had an amazing race start.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Donovan, but we do have a little bit more collisions in the back. I believe that's with Travis Fletcher. Let's see what kind of racing was going on here. Side by side, looks like there's a couple cars going to the pits. That's a Honda of same style, but Travis Fletcher gets on the sausage and gets a little bit of a tap from Pablo Ferrer. Maybe too many taps between the two. The car was a little bit unstable, and that's going to invite Juan Caro to go past them both, but looks like the two drivers did stay alive.
Yeah, which is good. One thing I want to know, I think Caleb Tenney was involved in that battle. He's one of our silver championship contenders here, and he's all the way down in P24 now, which, yeah, is a bummer to see that.
Whoa, what happened here with Curtis Lee? Looks like the car just lost it on its own, and Mac was the least fortunate of the couple cars behind. Was just not able to see the car that was parked perpendicular to the racing line. It's very unfortunate.
Speaking of the car perpendicular, and now it wasn't really perpendicular. That was facing like the exact wrong way there. I think that's Pablo Ferrer.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that sector 1. You know, those S's sections. It's so tough to come around and see a car. Because you can't really just change your line. You commit to your lines pretty early, you know, and mid-corner you can't really just change it. So yes, that's a tough place to see a car not going the right direction.
Quick callback regarding the silvers Donovan, you mentioned that Caleb Tenney had fallen down the order a bit. Sean Curcio is right now, has already caught Jess Osborne, so they started with a 4-car gap, I believe, and now they are nose to tail. So that should make the silver fight extra spicy.
Bit of a run here, Barry Jerry, the two silvers. Duel of the Fates, almost it seems. Wilder Vargas is trying to take advantage of that as well. Maybe half send up the inside, forces himself to slow down a little bit too much. Maybe catches Selena Boonstra a little bit off of her senses there, but Barry Jerry was able to make the move. Very decisive move for the Mustang up into P7. Sorry about that. Couple more movements happening on the grid as well. SIG SVG was able to get past Sean Williams. So both Mustangs getting moves done. It looks like the Ford is coming alive in the race. It looked like a couple of drivers were quick in qualifying, but maybe the other half struggled. Bearded Badass, of course, in P25 at the moment. SIG SVG in P18, but both of them have gained a couple spots. SIG SVG gained 3 spots. Bearded Badass gained 4. A lot of other drivers lost a lot of positions. Trey Morgan, of course, lost 4 spots. He's sitting in P17 right now. Kind of in no man's land, following a couple cars, but no one else behind him. So at least doesn't have to worry about someone trying to send it up his inside anytime soon.
Anton, you mentioned the Fords looking pretty feisty. I do wonder if they turn their tires on a bit better early on, which is great for the start of the race, but perhaps later in the stint they may suffer. So it could be interesting to see.
Definitely something to worry about. Ooh, a couple cars going for some passes here. Look at the straight line speed. The Mercedes just able to close in a little bit more than Sean Williams would have liked. Right behind him and Steve Foster as well, worrying about the Aston Martin. The Aston, obviously not known for its superior getaways, but it's very, very quick. Once it gets up to speed, up to 5th into the 6th gear, it really climbs, and then it kind of just hops out at about 280 kilometers an hour. So it's a very kind of sleeper, kind of straight line car. Side by side here between Sean Williams and SIG SVG, heading into Gravitron. Between these two, SIG SVG obviously having the superior inside line is going to help him defend, but ahead of the Porsche there. But will it invite Roger Rodriguez to maybe make a move heading to the final couple sectors, couple corners of this sector here? We also see Steve Foster trying to pick up anything that is available with his 4-car battle here, with the Mustang leading the train.
We see that outside line working in F1, but that line just does not work with these GT3s. They do not have enough downforce to make a move around the outside, around to that triple, right-hander there. Tyler Egley and Mason Moffett both kind of making up a little bit of inroads on the Nissans ahead in that last lap. And man, it is tight between these 4, really. I mean, they're all basically nose to tail here.
Yeah, and I was kind of watching this a little bit earlier in the lap. Tyler Egley has been catching up Philip Mueller quite a bit, but Philip Mueller also is catching his teammate, and almost seems to be held up by him a little bit, allowing Tyler Egley and Mason Moffett to close right in. So I don't know if they are, as I like to bring up, team orders. I don't know what they're thinking, but I imagine they'll probably just fight to fight, but hopefully they don't trip over each other while doing so.
Yeah, my guess is they're going to be, they've been talking just about the team championship, and I feel like if they swap positions, it might be a little bit risky with being so close. And so, it will be easier for Philip to defend against Egley, with your teammate right in front of you. So my guess is they're going to be trying to hold position for a little while. But as we see Rene Aoki, something happening here. We got that Porsche.
Oh, that's a very uncommon spin. Mercedes.
Yeah.
Just losing under traction.
That's interesting.
That looks like it hit something.
Yeah, it looked like it for sure. Definitely an odd occurrence there for the Mercedes.
Almost no TC. I know meta in the Mercedes here is no TC, but
would be a bold play to try to run.
Yeah, I'd be surprised for D2 to be running no TC.
Brian, did that actually happen yesterday? I didn't really watch much of the D3 broadcast, but Did Mercedes also do that?
Did that happen in D1?
I don't.
Something like that.
Oh yeah, we do have a D1 Mercedes, of course, in the form of Thiago Denarte. But look at this, Mason Moffitt prowling on Tyler Egley here through the start of Sector 2. These two are side by side, which I imagine for the Nissan guys is it best case scenario, as these two are now free to fight. Mason Moffitt with a pretty decisive move, but Tyler Egley, of course, does have the very prancing legs of the horse that is the Ford Mustang. Let's see if he can do anything. I'm going defensive here. Mason Moffitt jumping up to Helicam here. The Mustang taking the outside line, which I think is the better line for this next corner because it does turn into the inside line. But let's see how respectful these two are. Tyler Egley going a little bit too wide. That's going to make Mason Moffitt all the more decisive for P3. So Mason Moffitt up into the podium positions.
Yeah, that was a big pass for Mason there, to keep holding his lead in the team championship, and that is huge for the Nissans as well. Because I mean, look at that gap now. You know, it's over about a second and a half to Philip. So definitely a little bit of breathing room for the Nissans ahead.
Absolutely. Let's go join up with some other fights. Of course, we got Barry Jerry trying to hunt down maybe a couple more spots right now. Nico Suave doesn't have the benefit of the slipstream of the car ahead of being Martin Smith, but he does have to worry now about the other Mustang behind. We saw Barry Jerry go for a move at the inside of turn 1 here a couple laps earlier. Nico Suave a little bit more keen to defending here, but he goes a little bit wide. It's going to invite Barry Jerry for maybe a little bit of a dummy. Sold it to Nico Suave. Does have the outside line for turn 2, and that does become a little bit hard to do, going around the outside, but he does try to stick it. Doesn't look to be, no, it's not decisive enough for Nico Suave to cede the position. So these two guys are fighting. It's going to invite Tristan Zamora to tighten that gap up a little bit. But now really falling away from the top 5, Martin Smith has cleared a little bit more Nico Suave.
Yeah, definitely a bit more spread out after those top drivers, and a little bit of a gap. Martin Smith kind of in his own little area forming there. I guess he's not super far back. Whoa, what happened here between, is that Wilder Vargas and Crimson Bat?
Yeah, it looked like something happened. Wilder Vargas is leading car here. It looks like, Crimson Bat, that is the wrong way to go when you are braking late, my friend.
He was really far back too. That must have been a serious brake issue.
Mike Gino now picking up the scraps. It does overtake Wilder Vargas, but Wilder does have a little bit of overlap heading into this corner here. Does brake a little bit late. Maybe Mike Gino turned in a little bit earlier, trying to anticipate that Wilder was going to outbrake himself, but now Mal Artem is up into effectively P11, and Mike Gino has to worry about now Jess Osborne around the outside. He does get the overlap, and it's going to be enough to maybe solidify another position lost and gain for Jess Osborne here. Lost for Mike Gino, and that's going to put him closer to those silver rivals of his in P8 and P7.
Beautiful opportunistic move there from Jess Osborne, and he puts a car between him and his rival, which he's wanting to get any point he can get. We do have those 2 silvers up high, but they are really quite far down the order, so they're not really as it stands, unless they have a really solid finishing end to the season, they're not going to be in that silver championship. Now we got, a little bit of contact there between Nico Suave and Selena Boonstra. Nico is going from fighting a fellow Mustang to fighting a Porsche, and that's got to be
what a move. I think that was clean.
Yeah, and speaking of going from Mustang to Porsche, I'm not really sure what happened to Suave, because he's now dropped 3 positions since we last looked at him on the previous lap. I was just going to point that out. Thank you, Jack. But Barry Jerry is now into P6, so his surge up to the top 5 continues. Let's see if he can get up into the top 5. We did notice that his last lap and Nico Suave's was significantly slower. Nico Suave had a 2:10, which is 4 seconds off the pace, 3.5 seconds at best.
Crimson Bat and Trey Morgan now fighting. So Crimson Bat, oh, there's a car spun around. Matt Artem has spun around, obviously fighting. We did see him in that little gaggle of cars with Mike Gino and Jess Osborne. So what happened here? Well, Jess Osborne going a little bit too high into the braking, so all good has come undone. Jess Osborne trying to wait, but noticing that Matt Artem has completely spun around. A little bit of a scan deflect from Matt Artem there, and he's back on the road, but loses a lot of spots as a result. Oh, whoa, what?
Oh no!
I looked away for a split second. What? Hold on.
I don't know if he was hit there.
What?
Oh, what?
He just did that completely on his own. Okay, I'm gonna click away. That's,
Was that on?
I think it was on purpose.
I don't know.
I think he was just mad, which I get it.
Oh man.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Brutal.
that was
indeed.
brutal for sure.
And unfortunately for Jess, he has put himself quite far down the order now with that outbraking maneuver.
So
now sitting in P16.
more positions have been swapped around. Barry Jerry is now again behind Tristan Zamora. So wonder what happened there. These guys are swapping positions like there's no tomorrow. But it also goes to show how good of a racetrack Coda is. You know, it promotes a lot of side-by-side racing. We saw a very, very nice move from Selena Boonstra in the S's here with Nico Suave just a lap ago. Of course, I didn't see this one, but maybe more of the same.
So Jess Osborne in the pits. I'm assuming after that contact with Matt, he falling down to positions, he figured that he wanted to get out of the train and get some clear air and clear his mind a little bit. But yeah, it'll be kind of a long stint. Fortunately, the temperature isn't too hot, so the rear tires shouldn't be much worse than usual. I think that's the second lap in a row Crimson Bat there was sending it on the inside through that turn. Sending it very deep, but makes the apex, makes it stick. It's going to have a lower speed, which is why they're side by side going into
15?
Turn 12.
No.
I think it's like 12. Yeah, 12. Yeah. I need to.
Whoa, very close there for Sean Williams following Lucas Clenzeris. And you could see the gap on the relative on the left side of your screen there. Lucas Clenzeris was behind Sean Williams, now is ahead. So Lexus coming alive in the race for sure. Sean Curcio up into P11 almost. So there you go. Lexus is getting up there in terms of race pace. And I mean, we kind of all expected it. Performs a lot better in these heavier fuel scenarios. Just obviously kind of evens out the playing field in Sector 3. Really makes all the cars pretty bad in Sector 3. So the disadvantage that it has is sort of mitigated, if you will. Let's hop over with Selena Boonstra here. Of course, sitting in a nice spot, overtook Nico Suave a couple laps, and now has put a nice and healthy gap to the Mustang. Now looking ahead to overtake another Mustang, Barry Jerry, and Tristan's more right in front of him. So this is a bit of a Porsche sandwich for Barry Jerry here. Not could be worse. Honestly, could be an Lexus sandwich, which very, very, very difficult to get around. Just because you're trying to slipstream one Lexus, the other is getting the huge tow, of course, of a Lexus and another car. But Selena Boonstra is looking pretty racy here, closing up the gap pretty substantially to Barry Jerry here in Sector 1 and 2, approaching the back straight. Barry Jerry looks to be pretty close as well to Tristan Zamora, but bit of a compromised exit there, going a little bit wide. Speaking of wide, Nico Suave going a little bit wide is going to invite Wilder Vargas in P10 to maybe make a move on the Mustang there with a better exit. But look at Selena Boonstra. She's got some good slipstream going here. Is she going to think about a dive bomb to the inside? Let's see what happens. There are blue flags shown to a car. I believe there is a car blue flag that's going to be 443. No, that's Martin Smith. I don't know. There's maybe a car in between them that's blue flagged.
I do not see a car between them, so maybe that flag guy was just kind of bored and wanted to show some flags. I'm not sure.
It's like that Nord's flag waver who's just constantly waving.
Dude, in that 24 hours, that guy was waving the yellow flag for like 5 straight hours.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The forearms of a gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some possibly maybe some position changes in the near future. Tyler Egley still holding the fastest lap of the race, and he's pretty well within the slipstream of Mason Moffitt. He does go a little bit wide, or does he? Maybe Mason Moffitt's going a little bit narrow at the turn 1 apex there. The gap doesn't change, so kind of tells me that Mason's not as confident on the brakes as Tyler is in turn 1 there. Of course, Mustang and an American track is going to be strong here. Mason going a little bit deep.
How the BOP works is
I
we
think so.
favor the hometown brands.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
I sure
haven't
don't.
driven the Mustang here with the resistor or
The resistor.
restrictor rather. Restrictor. And lighter on its feet. I'd actually. I feel like it'd be nicer to drive with.
Oh,
this is
it's
one
a
of those tracks
dream.
that would
It's
be nicer
amazing.
to drive with that setup rather than the heavier car. That's the only way that I've driven the Mustang here, and with that, it was like plus 25 or something like that at least. With no restrictor, and yeah, it was a bit of a boat through the twisty bits.
Well, we're getting into those twisty bits now with Tyler Egley, of course, still trying to chase down Mason Moffitt. We're getting to that point where strategy does come into play. Of course, the Coda's not great on tires, especially the fronts, but we're getting to that window where maybe the undercut is possible, and just defending for the rest of the race is pretty doable. So maybe Tyler Egley obviously does have the pace, holding the purple lap. Does he think about going for an undercut? Because his last lap, even following Mason Moffitt, is only 2/10 slower than that of Thomas Holhassen, who just set his personal best of a 2:06.582.
Yeah, we'll see what this lap is. I think they are lapping a bit slower than the Nissans ahead, but they're really not pulling much of a gap, so they're pretty close. Actually, Tyler Egley, did lose out a fair amount there with that last lap. So yeah, maybe it is time. I mean, speaking of undercut, Mike Gino going for something here. He's definitely going to be looking
Whoa.
bit late on the brakes or something with Barry Jerry there. It's an interesting turn to battle in. There's so many things work, and it could be kind of difficult to change your braking habits through it, because it is a very particular braking zone.
Yeah,
It can get you out so easily with the different elevation changes, going from nearly straight vertical then to flattening out and then back up again.
it's also quite a sight to behold in person as well. The climb is quite substantial, and hearing, for example, like the VTOL Valkyrie just scream through the grandstands. I mean, it's definitely an experience that I would use another word to describe, but it's probably not family friendly, but you get the idea.
It is nice until late in the race when the Valkyries
When the transmissions go
yeah. Then it was a slightly different story. That turn one is cool too, because the grandstand up there, you could see the entire track basically from up there. There's a little bit that you can't see out at like turn 11, or really it's like turn 10. Yeah, turn 10, turn 11. It's a little hard to see over there, but most of the track you can see really well. I wonder if Sean Curcio, he had to have been giving that back on purpose. Something must have happened between them that he didn't feel confident keeping the position.
Something did happen with Trey Morgan and Rene Aoki at the second hairpin a little while ago. I didn't quite catch it.
Some damage in the back there, it looked.
Trey
one thing
Morgan
I
has
do
definitely
really-
had better seasons in the past. I think he's been quite unlucky this season. Oh, look at this. We have Mason Moffitt, the first to blink into the pits, which I don't know. I mean, obviously he doesn't have that much to lose. I don't think sitting in P1, I feel like as long as he's close to Thomas Olhausen and Philip Mueller, he's got more than enough to maintain that P1 in the championship that he's got. But maybe he's not settling for P3, so he wants to get that P1. I just don't know how much of a impact it'll have. I mean, Thomas and Philip can both pit this lap, and bar any issues, it's not gonna really affect much in the standings.
I think it's a good move, though. I mean, focusing on this race in particular, he had a nice gap behind Tyler Egley to Martin Smith. So if the strategy move isn't the greatest, then you might lose a single position. Overall standings isn't going to hurt you too much, third and fourth, especially with the lead that he's got. And maybe if the Nissan boys are napping, you might be able to nick a position or two, and second is always better than third.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see Philip come in here on this lap to cover off Mason. I don't think we're gonna see Tyler Egley come in just because at least I'd be kind of surprised. Philip does come in, which I think is wise. It's the safe option for sure. I think as we were talking about the undercut is very strong here. Oh, they both go in. Usually you don't want to both go in on the same lap, especially here in my opinion. So I do find that pretty interesting. But we'll see how that works out for them.
That was kind of interesting because it looked almost like Selena's pit limiter was quicker than Barry Jerry's.
Yeah, because it
kind
is.
of weaving.
Ford's pit limiter sucks.
Yeah.
Do want to see. So I don't know what the optimal time stopped, but it looks like Mason was stopped for 35 seconds. So definitely not ideal. He was 100% moved because his teammate was stopped for 32 seconds. So Philip Mueller is moving, and he was stopped for 32 seconds. So I don't think Mason Moffitt's undercut is gonna work, but we will see. Maybe he's just got an insane outlap, but it doesn't look to be gaining anything. Philip Mueller is going to be racing a car on exit, but it's a blue flag of Rene Yoki.
Yeah, you do need to kind of nail your pit stop a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of part of it. Oh, hold
you
on.
want to make that work.
Rene Yoki is fighting with Philip, but okay, never mind. A little bit.
Really.
Just for show.
Yeah, Ren's a pretty respectful driver, so usually he's very good at picking his battles. Although it shows that he did not fulfill his pit.
Yeah, he's just a blue flag.
Oh, he hasn't. I don't know why I thought he hit. I'm confused.
I mean, that would be pretty insane. Undercut from P23.
Yeah, I was. I was super confused there. I'm not, obviously.
Thomas Olhausen comes in, another safe play.
Yeah.
Oh, and so does Egley. Yeah.
Egley follows.
I think it makes sense. It's about that time.
I think so too. And I think. Ooh,
is his box
an ideal position?
Oh, I thought his box is right in front of Olhausen, but it's not. Tristan Zamora is in. Yeah. Barry Jerry pit a couple laps before. Let's see when he pit. He pit. Let's see the stint timer. Where is the stint timer? This is his outlap. So, of course, him and Selena were battling. Selena ahead. Wow, Selena is ahead. So maybe Barry Jerry also missed his pit box.
Barry Jerry did. Stop sign of 36 seconds.
Wow.
So the slowest time of anyone, actually.
Practice your pit entry.
Yeah, that is definitely an important thing, and I say that when I messed up so many pits.
Tyler Egley also with 36 seconds. Sorry.
Wow, come on, man.
Yeah. I think we saw that he was so uneasy with that entry with where Thomas Olhausen's box was, and it looks like Thomas Olhausen keeps a pretty comfortable lead.
So that pit box fiasco might have actually saved Mason because he had a slow stop himself. If Tyler had been able to get a good stop in, he may have been ahead of him.
Oh, I think so. I mean, he's only behind by a second and a half, and he was at best he would have had a 32-second stop, and he did have a 36-second stop, so he definitely lost some time there. But Mason's not looking the most comfortable as we usually have seen him this season. A little bit sliding on exit there from turn 7 into turn 8. So obviously we've seen Tyler Agley still holding fastest lap. Of course, the tires are getting warmed up as we speak, but yeah, it's going to be kind of a race to the flag at this point with 30 minutes to go.
You know, speaking of comfortability, we have not seen any drive-throughs yet.
Ah.
We're only halfway through the race, but if I was anything to go off of, I would guess some people might be sweating a little bit.
True that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely part of this track, especially in ACC.
Selena jumps Tristan as well.
Yeah.
She's in P9 now. I think she pitted in P11.
Nico Suave positioning for a move, but not going for it, which may be inviting Mike Gino into this little battle. 4-car battle here with the Porsche leading 2 Mustangs and a McLaren behind them. This would be huge for the team championship. Honestly, I mean, 1 and 2 in the Nissans right now. It's kind of kind of difficult for the McLaren guys to match that in the last couple of races, given their strong form all season. But I mean, any points is points. So if Mike Gino can get past maybe 2 of these cars, it would be very, very good for Mason and his efforts.
Got the last cars coming out from their pit stops. I'm curious to see where Martin Smith comes in relation, because Selena is
he's got a nice clear gap. He's 4 seconds ahead of Selena now.
Yeah, but this has been a great race from Selena. I mean, she's now what position? P6.
5 spots up from starting position.
Yeah, it's been a solid race. So, and you know, Martin himself is up 4 positions. So, yeah, some solid races from them, and there hasn't been a lot of contact or anything crazy. Oh, we had a drive-through. Bearded badass.
That is an interesting spot to get it, going into the T1.
Yeah, my guess is it actually appeared on the last turn. Yeah, or maybe the second to last turn, because that is a pretty easy spot to get a track cut.
All right, 4/10 gap for Barry Jerry against the 992. Let's see if it closes up a little bit. There's the 3/10 margin. Could be 2/10 by the end of the straight. 2/10 now. The slipstream is pretty strong here. Tristan Zamora does go defensive. Barry Jerry is going to go on the outside. Maybe looking for a little switchback, but Nico Suave is keeping Barry Jerry honest as well. Gonna force him to take a defensive line, which is going to keep them both in the same spot, but, you know, something to think about for Barry Jerry.
Yeah, it's so hard to do anything around the outside. We did have that pretty incredible move from Gus Osborne around the outside there into turn 15. But yeah, it is really hard to do anything out there. So, is this Lexus power?
Breaking news: we are witnessing overpowered maneuvers.
Yeah, there's that.
Alexis passes a car in a straight line. Continue on with your day.
Yeah, yeah. And now there's another Lexus behind that. The poor Porsche.
That was just bullying.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I'm opening an admin ticket on that. That wasn't really nice. Well, Curtis is an admin, so oh god. Yikes. I do wanted to point out Tyler Egley, despite having a slower stop than Mason and recovering from a 1.5 second gap, has now closed up that gap to about 7/10, and they are 5 seconds off of the leader, who is Thomas Olehausen, still leading this race from start to finish. Very, very clean job so far. But fastest lap right now is a 2:05.737, so very, very fast. Faster than Mason by last lap was what was it, 7/10 nearly. So
Yeah, I was going to mention that fastest lap is what has brought Tyler Egley into this position. Very quicker than I don't think anyone else is in the 205s right now, and he's well into the 205s. So we'll see if he can keep that pace up. He did invalidate his lap just recently, so he may be pushing. Maybe he has some track cuts to spare, as we see a little bit of argy-bargy.
That has been an exciting turn for Crimson Bat, as he is still having to deal with this into the turn 12 at the end of that straight. But yeah, he's had a lot of action there at turn 11.
He's made a lot of them work, except for the first one, obviously. But kind of surprising, because I would think that the Lambo would struggle out of the exits while diving into the hairpin, but it seems to be putting off his opponents enough that he's able to cover off the inside to the next corner.
some love with our silver guys here. We got a lot of silvers from P14 to P23, all occupied with silver drivers. And there's a lone gold driver in P24. That's Juan Caro, of course, victim, I believe, earlier on of some shenaniganry at turn 11. So not what you want to see for the Porsche driver, but of course having some fun within that silver battle. Looks like Pat Cockcroft right now is trying to chase down Caleb Tenney. Gets a good run, forces Caleb to go inside. But I think the Aston is just good enough on exit against the 992 here, leading up the hill into turn 1. But now you can see Curtis Lee prowling on his prey right now. We got two cars here that obviously the Lexus does have a straight line advantage over. So if he can keep it pretty tidy through sector 1, entering sector 2 onto the back straight, I can foresee some more cyberbullying going on in about 40 seconds time.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this silver battle, and I just noticed the standings. Jess Osborne is back ahead of Sean Curcio. I don't know what happened to Sean because he was in 11th and his pit was fine, but he's now fallen behind Jess, who took some time previously to wait on after knocking over an opponent. So that's an interesting change of pace for the overall silver championship.
Well, Jess did go into the pits pretty early.
He did.
He went in 15 minutes earlier than Sean Curcio did. So his tires are going to be much worse by the end of this race.
Oh my God.
And is in the Lexus. And then also, I mean, Jess Osborne has a bit of a penalty, potential penalty looming over his head. Man, Curtis Lee, the cyberbullying is real on this. I mean, he's just eating Porsches for lunch. This is great battling though here. He goes a little bit deep into turn 15. He's going to be losing out all that game, but he's going to be able to get it back once he finds a straight again.
That was a very brave opportunity there from Curtis Lee. Quite optimistic, if you will, heading to sector 3. Of course, the 992 known for its nimbleness, its agility, as opposed to the raw, sheer, very violent power of the Lexus. Oh, look at that! Alexis going for a dive bomb on the inside. Oh, a little bit of a dummy maybe for Sean Williams there. So a Lexus sandwich. We talked about how this Sean Williams would be in a Lexus sandwich, and he's precisely in that. So obviously going to be following some cars through the very quick sections of the track, being sector 1 and 2, not being able to make many inroads on the cars ahead or behind, really, just because kind of stuck in this position. But now you got to worry about heading onto the back straight. Another Lexus behind you with Lucas Gonzalez. So Sean Williams is probably not having the best time of his life right now.
Is Sean Williams in a Lexus sandwich, or are the Lexi in a triple-decker Porsche sandwich?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
like
was
this. We got
gonna
the
say
Big Mac, the big
I've been
Porsche.
beating you, Donovan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're on like the same wavelength. I feel like this race, but yeah, that is Big Mac, a Porsche Big Mac there.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, a little bit squirrely there on entry for Lucas Gonzalez, but look how close he is. It's only actually it's about 5/10, but it's already going down. As you see the slipstream, he's out of the slipstream with the Lexus ahead of him. Look at the Lexus, it's just gonna close in and close in. The cyberbullying has commenced on the back straight of the Lone Star State. Lucas Gonzalez thinking about a move, positioning for at least the inside line just to scare Sean Williams a little bit, but look at the closing speed. It's not fair.
Yeah, he even had a bad exit out of turn 11 because of that squirrely into it. Speaking of squirrely, I guess
Hold on.
keeping it all straight now. But
Whoa, what a move for Tyler Egley around the outside. Just gets Mason pinched on the inside of the apex of turn 1. Was able to carry all that speed around the outside of Mustang up into P3. This is best case scenario for the men in the Japanese car ahead, the GTR, Thomas Olsen and Philip Mueller. Now, do you think about, of course, Thomas has been leading this race from start to finish, but now with Mason in P4, these are points, big points gained for the Nissan guys. Of course, I believe it's Philip who's closest in the Drivers' Championship. Do these guys swap around? Maybe some shenanigans go on with the Drivers' Championship? I don't know.
I feel like I can't imagine they will. That just does not seem much like them. My guess is they're looking. I mean, they've even said they're looking at the team championship. Philip isn't insanely far behind. He's 49 points behind Mason, and maybe they'd be more likely to do it if Mason was way down there, but he's not. He's still in this. P4 is still good points, so I can't imagine they'll do that.
Yeah, and Philip isn't the guy to call out his teammate that's 2 seconds ahead of him and say, "Hey, let me get 10 extra points."
No, that is the least Philip thing.
He'd probably be, if he was behind Thomas Olhausen by about 0.1, he'd be like, "Let me just push you."
Yeah. You'd go. They'd be much likely to go for bump drafts than swap positions. Wow, it's a little touchy-feely between these drivers here.
Yeah, we did notice there has been a change. Someone has taken a bite out of the Porsche Big Mac. Caleb Tenney has lost a couple of positions. Or rather, I mean, it was Sean Williams and Caleb Tenney maybe got into a scrap, and Lucas Gonzalez has gotten past both of them. Now Caleb Tenney's lost the position again to Sean Williams. It looks like, or rather, I think Sean Williams was defending. So it's going to invite
has
Steve
also
Foster.
gotten by Pat Coffcroft, so the Lexuses are kind of jumping their Porsche counterparts.
Stop cyberbullying. Oh, drive through! No!
Oh, no, Trey Morgan! He made it back up to P13, but man, that is heartbreaking for Trey. This has been a rough season for him.
Oh, in the background we see Shane Lewis maybe positioning himself for a move up the inside of Jess Osborne, but to no avail there. Now they got to worry about Sean Curcio in the background as well. The Lexus is trying to hunt down a little bit of a gap, close enough to get some slipstream from the BMW. Of course, massive hole that it's punching into the air with the big snout that it's got. The Trey Morgan drive through with only just a little bit over 70% of the race has gone by, and it's just not what you want to do. With this amazing recovery drive that he's had. Drive through kind of just shatters your hopes and dreams, not just for this race but maybe for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It is definitely a massive bummer.
We see some more cyberbullying going on here.
I know, yeah. I'm wondering if we're gonna see anything.
Is it going to be as much against the BMW?
Not as
you'd
much,
be surprised.
It's still gonna be pretty. I mean, look, it's still doing something, but it's definitely not gonna be able
Oh my
to do anything
God.
as fast as- Wow,
The, like, the, 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 the,
something
final
crazy.
third, it catches so much.
Yeah. That's where the Lexus is really good. Like I mean, it's no slouch out of the, in the lower stuff too, but the thing with the cars, it just keeps going where most cars taper off. It does not do that.
A little bit more battling now. Pat Cockcroft has to deal with another Lexus of Lucas Clanzera, so just getting a mirror full of Lexi this evening. It's definitely not the ideal place to be, but it's where you are and you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah, close your eyes, Joel.
Lexus mentioned Joel in the chat immediately, and Trey Morgan does go into the pits to serve as drive-thru, and that's going to promote Jess Osborne again into another points battling position. But look at this, Shane Lewis getting a good run on Jess Osborne here. It's going to be the inside for the BMW. How close can these two get? Looks like Shane Lewis does edge past just enough to get the spot on Jess Osborne entering turn 2. Very nice move for the BMW driver.
A really, really clean move there. And if I'm Jess, I'd be tempted not to battle too hard, just because, with that penalty looming, you want, to be in. You don't want to close the gap down to Sean Curcia, as much as you can, just in case. But yeah, it's not a huge gap though. 1.5 seconds ish right now. Or 2 seconds. It's about 2 seconds. It's not an insignificant gap, and Sean Curcio does have Roger Rodriguez behind, but so that could hold him up. But
so these gaps on my relative are dancing around a little bit. But one thing to point out here is that Tyler Egley has pretty much completely cleared Mason Moffitt behind him. Now 2.6 seconds back, has really been putting the hammer down with these laps with about just under 15 minutes to go now. There has been a pass back here, battling here between Caleb Tenney and Juan Caro, tucking back into the slipstream. Let's see if he goes for another dive bomb with those pretty strong Porsche brakes. He does attain overlap at the apex, but these aren't the rules of F1 as he goes a little bit Max Verstappen-esque, diving to the apex, but the racing will continue. Pinches him at the apex a little bit, but he goes wide. Caleb Tenney does get past, but that's going to invite through goes Steve Foster, 3 wide almost in the stadium section, and the one that loses the most is Juan Caro. No, Steve Foster goes for a little bit of a slide, goes for a detour through turn 15 there. It's going to invite back to the pecking order how it was before, but that was some very action-packed racing that Code just provides, and maybe it was a little bit too much for Steve Foster under load there. A switch back for Juan Caro. What a move!
that was a crazy move. Yeah, that whole sequence before was a lot of craziness to just keep the same order, but yeah, Juan Caro sending it in on the inside there of what was that, turn 18?
I don't think I've seen a move there before.
I did one. Come on, man. I did it in the practice race. You were there, no?
No, I was not there.
Oh, I did it in the practice race. But yeah, no, it's a very opportunistic move, and and now he's got to deal with Steve Foster behind him through the S's. But I feel that killed Tenney cars. Definitely seems like it's seen better days.
Yeah, I wonder if that was, when he originally, or not originally fell down. I mean, maybe. I know he was involved in that lap 1 incident, but I don't know if that is from, that second falling down the order a few laps back, but yeah, the front of the car is definitely hurting a bit with a flapping hood.
These two have been together all race. Tristan Moore and Barry Jerry.
Yeah, we were together in qualifying, together all race. Definitely glued to each other. Very different cars. But yeah, they definitely can't separate.
I think Boulder's trying to get some revenge on Crimson Bat here after the absolute naughty dive bombs that Mr. Bat has been doing on this poor 296 driver all night long. But we do have 12 minutes to go, so 80% of the race has gone by and the track has warmed up. It is now Warming up in the city of Austin, Texas. It's now 22 degrees. Very cool temperature for this time of year for Austin. But the track has warmed up. It's now 26 Celsius. So those tires, maybe if they overpressured them, they're gonna start to notice it a little bit. The lack of performance from their fronts, especially in Sector 1, is quite noticeable. Especially at this point in the race, it can be very, very hard to lean on them, especially through this section. But one driver that is trying to get the absolute most from these tires at this point in time is Tyler Egley, really trying to close in any sort of gap he can on Philip Mueller. He was looking pretty fast a couple laps ago, but now kind of fallen off a little bit. GTR was able to get his tires in a nice window, so the two GTRs up front have been pretty substantially faster than P3 and 4 at the moment.
Just looked it up, and I mean, technically it's, you know, almost, so what, 9:30 in Austin, but it's 23 degrees Celsius in Austin right now. And at 10 a.m. it would have been actually roughly the same, like 24 degrees. So it's actually not that far off, surprisingly.
Well, we had Selena Boonster go off track there at turn 12, and that's going to invite Tristan Zamora and Barry Jerry. This battle has been going from start to finish like you guys mentioned a couple laps ago. And now Selena made a mistake. It's going to bring Tristan Zamora back into the fold, trying to tag on to that slipstream from the Porsche ahead. And maybe, just maybe, we might see a couple more position changes with another car now joining the battle.
Well, we did see Selena actually undercut both of these cars earlier in the race, so perhaps her tires are starting to fade while the others are still okay. We see some more battling going on. The ragged Aston.
Ooh, parking on the apex, I like it. Thank you for the shout out, Donovan.
No problem.
All right, 10 minutes to go. This race, honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen more drive-throughs, to be honest. I mean, we're also talking about D2, so these drivers are pretty talented in their respect, but, you know, I was expecting at least 3 or 4.
There are less drive-throughs so far in D2 than there were in D1, with 10 more drivers on track. So
That's kind of how it was at Donington, wasn't it?
True, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, everyone was pretty clean at Donington. We were all estimating a lot more.
Yeah. These D2 drivers, either they're just better at, you know, track limits, or they're, you know, maybe not pushing quite as hard.
I also want to point out the gap that the top 4 have built on P5. Aaron Smith is no joke. The gap from P4 to 5 is 14 seconds. Oh, there's drive-through number 3, Sean Williams.
Yep. I told you you cursed it.
I had a feeling I was going to.
That was the point, man.
I need to get my numbers up.
I need my poly market to win.
Numbers up.
Well, speaking of, actually, I need to check out the Spurs Knicks. Of course, the NBA Finals is another talking point. And I'm a Knicks fan, so I gotta see what the score is here.
Did you have a spread?
No, but the Knicks are up 2 points entering the 4th quarter, so it's close. Oh, God.
Well, be sure to watch the rest of this race and then tune into the Knicks game after. Don't turn it now.
If I had to choose between wooden legs or wooden arms, which would I choose? Oh, my God. I'm trying to think of the benefits.
Wooden arms, you wouldn't be able to do anything. But wooden legs, I mean, you either just hobble or you have a wheelchair, and it's fine.
Is it fine though?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can move. I can actually do stuff with like my surroundings with regular arms.
I'm not gonna lie, everything I do requires, like, hands.
Well, that's a real shocker. I think most of us need hands to do stuff.
Well, I'm saying, like...
I'm not using my legs right now.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not really using my hands right now either. I mean, you know,
Speak for yourself.
importance.
Very
Well, I mean,
exciting
I'm
race.
looking around,
Anton.
but like, that's not that hard.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I'm doing with my wooden legs right now is that I'm jittering them because I'm nervous looking at this Knicks score right now. So if I had wooden legs, I wouldn't be visibly nervous. Maybe like Tristan Zamora is here. You know, he's got Barry Jerry closest he's been in a couple laps.
Way to bring it back.
Yeah, let's go. That's why we do this. Oh, we
Yeah,
got
I
some
wonder if we're
battle
gonna
here.
see
Opa!
more battling between Crimson
Father
Bat
Vargas
and
finally got
Noble
his
Vargas here.
revenge.
I don't know. Around the outside, it kind of works, but you just got to be closer. You got to really force him to the inside there, if you can. And the positions do stay the same, but he's still there. Sig SVG and Curtis Lee battling. Like I mentioned, keeping that inside line will really pay dividends there, and Sig SVG is able to hold the inside. Curtis Lee, whoa, that Lexus is... wow, what a move for Curtis. You don't really see that from a Lexus, I'll tell you that much. That's some brave driving from Curtis Lee. That's why we pay him the big bucks.
Yeah, I was just talking about how hard the outside line is there, how hard it is here. But he made one of those work. I mean, that was a good pass there from Curtis.
If you were reincarnated and had the choice between a golf ball or a basketball, which would you choose?
Basketball.
Yeah,
One
me
is
too.
destined to be lost in a shed somewhere. The other is destined to be either in the bottom of a lake or a forest. So
I don't even know.
you can choose your based on that.
I would choose being a hanging ball. Okay, that's let's not take that out of context now.
That is so.
The story right now, though, is that Philip Mueller has been slowing up a little bit with 5 minutes to go, and Tyler Egley is within a second. More battling between these two, though. Crimson Bat now catches up to Mike Gino and does lose a spot.
Did he just dive Mike Gino?
I
In
think
his
so.
favorite location?
That has been such a wild. Oh, that one's gonna be. Mike Gino's gonna have something to say about that one, I think.
I mean, he got the overlap at the apex, or like even before it, but look at, I mean, the outside for this corner does become the inside. Let's see if Crimson Bat can do what Curtis Lee did around the outside, but Mike Gino, of course, no stranger to some side-by-side racing in Division 2, being a pretty resident driver here in D2, is not going to cover off the inside, and look what the Crimson... Oh!
Oh, no. Not like this.
That wasn't great.
It was so nice the first time I had to do it twice.
Yeah, he was watching Carlos Sainz at that turn last.
Yeah, didn't he, like,
last-
completely destroy Kimi Antonelli or something?
Yeah.
He turned in on me.
Tyler Egley, right on Philip Mueller now.
Oh, hold on. Dink donk with the perfect rebuttal.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
I'm not gonna say that on stream. You just had to be there. Just have to be there. Yeah, the gap is now 3/10 between the GTR and the Mustang. So, I mean, look at the gap between Mason and Tyler. Tyler has been, I think, honestly, like, if he undercut earlier when he got past Mason, honestly, if he undercut earlier, I think he would have been able to contend for P1. But
Well, if he didn't lose 4 seconds in his pit stop, he'd be
that's true.
doing in a much better position.
That is a
But he's
great
recovering
point.
now.
Yes, he's recovering now.
I was wondering the same thing, why he has lost so much pace in the last few laps. I don't think it's just tires. He did not pit that much earlier than his competitors. It was
Gotta be
really
drive-through,
only
right?
like 2 laps. It could be, and he's just thinking he has the space, but he is completely dropping back here. I mean, his last lap was a second and a half slower than Tyler Egley's last lap.
Oh, here we go. Cyberbullying has commenced. Volume 4. Sean Curcio on the outside of Roger Rodriguez, very close for comfort there between the two guys. Very respectful racing as well. Of course, two very commonplace names in the SRA community have been in D2 and D3, kind of flirting with the margins for a while, and they have raced each other for a long time. A little bit squirrely there for the Mercedes, but good and fair.
Rodriguez was behind Curcio.
Was he?
So I don't know when they swapped positions, but they definitely swapped positions at some point.
Hey, it's your favorite line, Lexus around the outside.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a little bit of contact, the smallest bit of contact between the two. I can't really put that on Lucas because that just seemed incidental. But Pat Cockcroft does lose 2 positions. Juan Caro, after a huge lap 1 incident and pitting pretty early on, does get another position into top 20. There you go. But I do want to get on board with this because this is I believe this is going to be the last lap of the race. Tyler Egley going to try everything he can to get past Philip Mueller. It's going to be tough. It's going to have to happen. Probably in sector 3 somewhere. But look, the GTR just has too much strength on the exit of these slow corners. Mustang can't really do much.
Yeah, I think, like, aside from this turn, there's not going to be much that he can do unless Philip makes a mistake.
They're going to have one more? Or is Thomas going to be just short?
Ooh.
That's a bit of a slide.
Ooh, I was saying a mistake.
As this battle goes on, too, Selena Boonstra has caught Martin Smith, so there's a nice little train going on for 5th place.
I think the rears of the Audi just not great.
Yeah, he was about 4 seconds ahead coming out of the pit, so he has dripped that time.
Okay, we are going to rejoin this battle very quickly, but I do want to give the moment in the sun that Thomas Olhausen deserves from start to finish. A dominant qualifying lap puts him into P1 for the race. Maximum points for both the Nissan, not maximum points actually. Tyler Egley takes the fastest lap, but back to this battle, Selena Boonstra trying to chase down Martin Smith as the 2 teammates cross the line in 1 and 2. Mason Moffitt just off the podium finishes in P4. Martin Smith trying to, Selena Boonstra goes off track. That's going to invite Tristan Zamora on the rejoin a little bit, very close for comfort. Tristan Zamora takes the inside. Who's going to get to the line first? It's going to be Selena Boonstra going off track, and Tristan Zamora at the death gets P6. What an ending between these two, and Barry Jerry and Nico Suave inseparable at the line as well. Only barely 2 tenths between them. Fantastic battling. Willard Vargas picks up the scraps from the Crimson Bat Send on Mike Gino, finishes P10. What a race for the good guys in D2. Wow.
Yeah, that was, definitely. Great race, great qualifying into a great race.
It ain't over here though.
Still going on. It's tight
Cleanser's a little bit. Close for a send.
It's gonna be too close to the line to get anywhere there. That line is right after the turn, but so it's gonna stay as the battle was. Yeah, as a Trey Morgan coming off, shout out to Trey Morgan, keeping P19, so not too bad of a drop after his drive-through.
I just remember what Mason wanted me to do. He's gonna do the thing.
Oh, he's doing it.
Yo, that was sick!
That was an impressive one.
Did a kickflip.
That was awesome.
That was a kickflip.
Oh my god, I did that yesterday and I ended up on the roof of my car. Oh man. Tom's doing donuts. Damn right he is.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I do want to know, how close are they to clinching the team championship already? Because, I mean, they've gotten so many, like, podium results, the 2 of them.
They have their last, I mean, they're not that far ahead. I mean, they were like 72 points going into the race ahead of Mike and Mason Moffitt, Mike Gino, Mason Moffitt. But that's still, I mean, I feel like, while it's not super likely, it definitely is still mathematically possible.
right? Math is what we love to do with the calculations here in SRA. But until then, we do have, of course, the podium finishers. We do have, we did see Tristan Zamora make another pass for P6, I believe. It was where he finished. So passing Selena Boonster at the death. Just behind Martin Smith, was able to hold off those couple of cars. But fantastic racing just in the silver class in the top of D1. Looked like, or D2, sorry. Tyler Egley was really putting the pressure on the Nissans there. But we're gonna get some interviews going. Let's bring in Tristan Zamora.
Yes. Oh shoot! Oh, my join sounds here. Oh no, that's awkward. Hi guys.
Hey Tristan, welcome to the booth. Trust me, we've heard more awkward ones. If you know, you know. Josh Damian a couple seasons ago. Yeah, welcome to the booth. That was some very exciting racing for you. Tell us how that felt.
Oh my goodness. Barry, Jerry, kept me on my toes. That's for damn sure. I mean, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, it looked like we didn't see, I think the most recent pass, it was about maybe like 20-25 minutes into the first stint, but a couple sends into turn one, you were following him, then he was following you. It looked like a lot of flip-flopping, snip, snap, you know, as the great Michael Scott would say. But yeah, you guys were pretty much at each other's throats the entire race. But then, you know, towards the second stint, you guys were racing other cars. You know, Nico Suave, Selena Boonster had that mistake on the last lap. I mean, it was just a race full of events for you. Yeah, I mean, it must have been a damn good time.
It was. I had to definitely play to my car's advantage on that one. The Mustang is so crazy good and on the straights, and not to mention on the brakes too. He was like getting real close in the braking zone, so I had to play the Porsche's acceleration. That was my secret weapon that I had to use, and luckily it worked. So glad it did.
That it did. I do want to ask, because it looked like you were pushing the entire 60 minutes, but in those moments of stress, did you get any track cuts? We know Coda is one of those tracks to really watch out for that. So curious how many you had.
Anton, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. By lap 5, I had 3 track cuts.
There it is.
Yep. I don't know what I was doing. I was big throwing, so I had to drive 50 plus minutes with 3 track cuts. So that was that added to the sweat for sure.
You know what? That makes it all the more impressive, because you were able to make those overtakes after you had the 3 track cuts. So I mean, that's amazing. It's honestly like, that's a W in my books. I mean, you walked out with the silver win, but hey, take a pat from the back from me. That's an overall win. You know?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Are you in the silver battle at all for the overall?
I don't think so. I think last time I checked, I was top 10. I missed a lot of races in the start of the season, so got a lot of work to do if I'm ever to catch back up, I guess. But I'm just in it for the fun. You know, that race was good fun. I'll give it that. So that was a good time.
That's what we're all here to do. Tristan, fantastic result. Do you guys have any questions for our silver winner?
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember back everything that happened.
Oh, there was a lot.
So much happened.
Oh, it was a lot. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, huge props keeping it together with track cuts. I mean, that is so hard to battle Coda with track cuts, speaking from experience, at least for me. So that's impressive that you were able to drive that closely through that whole 50 minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I had to definitely be a lot conservative. I was anywhere close in my mind that I think was going to get a track cut, I had to either back off or take a wider angle. So it was nervy for sure.
Yeah, and I just want to say shout out to you, Tristan.
Shout out to you, Jack. Are you kidding me?
Ex-teammate of mine,
shout outs to you,
dear close friend. I was very happy to see you doing well. Great qualifying, and you and I were much alike with pulling 3 track cuts very early in the race. So.
You know what, Jack? This one was for you, my boy. This one was for you.
Love it.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, there's one shout out for Tristan. You got any more before you send you back down?
Shout out to my mom, and shout out to my new Audi RS3 that gave me the confidence to really push it. I gave it all to that car. Only had it for 3 days, but I love it.
Huge. Well, Enjoy your new car. I'm sure it's fun to drive. RS3 is a nice one. Good choice.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Celebrate with, I don't know, whatever your drink of choice is, or, laugh
NBA
at
Finals?
True. I am a Knicks fan, and I've been looking at the score line the entire time.
Dude,
It's
I'm on your
close.
side. I'm an ally.
Big. Yeah, they have a 6-point lead right now with 6 minutes to go. So as soon as the
I know,
interviews are
just
done,
put it on.
I'm going to that.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Yeah. All right. We'll send you back down. Have a good evening, man.
Peace.
Love to see the enthusiasm and fellow Knicks supporter. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't know if he's a Knicks fan or a supporter just for the ride, but we are leading by 6 points. Huge. But speaking of points, do you want to bring in Tyler Egley wherever he may be? There he is. Let's bring this man in. All right, Mr. Tyler, welcome back. It's been a little bit. But back in full force, and I mean, you were the fastest man on track today in the race.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yeah, I mean, really provided us some last minute entertainment as well. I mean, the GTR seemingly just kind of ran away with it. I think, honestly, talk about the pit entry, because that was a huge talking point with a lot of the drivers today. It looked like a lot of people lost out on their entries, Mason included, and you as well. Were you at all distraught with how your pit stop went? Because it looked like you had the pace for maybe even a P2.
I didn't really think about the pit entry too much, other than not. I didn't take it very wide in the entry, so I probably could have optimized that better. Actually getting to the box, for whatever reason, there's like a 50-50 chance that when I hit the ignition button to turn the car off, it goes down to like 0 RPM and then jumps back up to idle.
Yep.
And I'm not sure what that is. So, but I probably lost 3 seconds there, and that would have got me second at least.
So I have experience with that in the Mustang as well. So yeah, I feel your pain on that. That is yeah, I definitely have. That's the only car I've experienced it on, but I've experienced it a couple times in that car.
It's a weird one for sure, but listen, it definitely did not take away from your overall pace today. I mean, fantastic job. Very strong qualifying performance. Definitely the closest you've been to that top spot since Laguna Seca. Were you? Is this a track that you're confident at in general, or was it kind of just like a new experience for you and you were just taking it as it goes?
No, I definitely was struggling up until maybe yesterday and today. I think I rage quit out of the practice race on Monday because of a drive-through and a wreck or two. So I kind of had to lock in practice the last 2 days. But yeah, not my favorite track, but I think at least on track tonight, I felt more confident than it looked like other drivers felt. So.
Of course, we do have to ask. We did ask the so far Tristan Zamora, how many track cuts were you on? That is the name of the game for Coda. So
2 track cuts.
2.
I forget where the first one was. The second one was exit of the turn at the end of the long straight for like I don't know. It was like a millimeter outside, but
yeah, it's actually a common one.
Yep. I hadn't had one in all of my practice until today. So I was kind of like, really? But keep moving. I think I had 20 minutes left, so I figured as long as I didn't do that again, I'd be all right.
That you were, and I mean, you pretty much you finished the race in style. Of course, P3, another podium. Very strong season for you. How are you feeling about the last 2 tracks, rounding out the end of season 18?
I haven't checked what the tracks are, honestly, so I'll just pull up the server and start doing laps. Yeah, I think I kind of missed out today getting past the 2 drivers around me in the championship. So Thomas Wilhausen and Philip did really good. They were dominant around the entire track, except for maybe the S's. But otherwise, their pace was very, very good. So even with what seemed like fresher tires at the end, there wasn't much I could do. So I think I'll probably move down to 4th in the standings, but there's still 2 more races. So,
what's your target for the end of the season?
I'd like a podium, but honestly, for D2 being in top 5 is first season in D2 being in top 5 is impressive either way.
That it is, yeah, for sure. Guys, you have any questions for Tyler?
No, I don't think so. The next race is Hungaroring, which I think it's a
Variable race. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it'd be interesting. The Mustang is pretty good there, so
I didn't notice that the Mustang was very good in the wet at Monza, so
Yeah.
but that also has lots of very slow corners. But I guess I'll have to start lapping.
Yes, sir. Well, if you guys...
So I saw that you had caught Philip towards the end there. With a few more laps, do you think you could have gotten by him, or do you think their pace overall was a little bit too much?
If there had been one more lap, and I think the leader crossed the line with like a second or two left in the race, or before the race ended, pretty much. If we had gone another lap or two, I think I would have gotten him. I want to say he pitted earlier than me, and it seemed like I was even catching Thomas in first place, and that might have just been down to paying better attention to my tires and making sure I didn't cook them. But yeah, I think it would have been at least very close.
Regardless, a very good result. So.
All right, Tyler. Well, no stranger to the podium this season. Of course, you know the drill. Any shots you want to make before we send you back down?
Shout out to Sig. Gave me a setup on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. It kind of turned around my my lapping at the track here. I was kind of at a loss or at a dead end with my current setup. So thanks to him, and thanks to you guys again.
Love it. That's what teammates are for at the end of the day. We got to collaborate, work together. And I guess you guys are actually like pretty close in the top three for the
P3
team
in the
standings.
team
Yeah.
championship right now.
Yeah.
Pretty nuts. So good stuff from you two this season. All right. Well, Tyler, fantastic job again. Nice P3. Good stuff on the race pace. We'll send you back down. Hope to see you next week.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Should we bring both teammates in? I feel like it makes sense.
I feel like we got it.
That would be fun.
Yeah. All right.
Plus, then you can do one last interview and go back to your.
I can go to my Knicks game. That's right. Well, I'm gonna do this super fast. All right, we got the teammates in the booth.
Oh no!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I felt like it had to be done. You know, it's like Thomas, Meg. First of all, that's a redemption for season 16, right? It's got to be.
I mean, it really should have been Mueller's, but yeah, we together we did it. So
sharing the top step of the podium together. I guess Phil P2, Thomas P1. You guys ran away with it from the start. Philip, a little bit of a moment at the end there, or rather just trying to keep Tyler behind on his rampage in the second stint. Did you at all feel uncomfortable with the Mustang behind you?
Oh, extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, first stint, he was clearly faster in, a handful of turns where it's, I'd have a gap and then all of a sudden I just have this Mustang nose in my ass. And so that was playing through my mind as he's ticking down the delta in the closing laps of the second stint. And it's like, oh God, I'm looking at the clock. Okay, 4 more laps. Okay, 3 more laps. Okay, please. We can do this.
yeah, I was very worried about, if it was reversed and Mueller was P1 and I was P2, I don't know if I would have been able to stave off that pressure. I mean, that looked pretty brutal.
Well, fortunately, you guys have a very, very strong car with the nice engine underneath you, so you could at least not worry about it on the straights, but I'm sure it was pretty much a hassle in the corners, which brings me to my next point. Track cuts, I know you guys mentioned the D2 chat, but let the people know at home. How many you guys got?
Well, I had
0.
0 as well.
There it is. Consistency between the two, P1 and P2. That's what gets it done. Practice makes perfect. You guys really proved it today. So really, really phenomenal job. I mean, as a team, I feel like it's all but wrapped up at this point. I know Mason and Mike are pretty much technically, mathematically still in it, but it would take, in my opinion, a long shot to really dethrone you guys. So how are we feeling about the last two races? You know, as a team entering them on top of the world, it's got to feel a little bit tense, a little bit exciting, right?
It is, yeah. I don't know where was Mike Gino in this race. I don't know where he ended up. Okay,
I think he was just outside the top 10.
Just outside. So that gives us a little bit of breathing room then. But yeah, we have the drop race, and I don't know how many drop race points we have. So if something bad happens, then it could get really close for the last race. So gonna put it all in there and do our best.
Yeah, I mean, Hungary, Thomas here, he's okay at it, so I would expect a good result out of him. And yeah, Nürburgring, we should be okay at that one. So yeah, I don't know if I would expect a race win. I don't know. What do you think, Tom? Are we expecting a race win in the last two races, or are we going to get smacked?
I'm hoping top 5, maybe top 8, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Put in the practice and make it work. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's not over yet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we just got to keep the nose clean, get solid points, and it should just work out okay.
Hopefully. And I mean, you know, we're this close to the end of the season. Obviously, a lot of pressure building up as the team series rounds out to its nigh end. But you guys have been nothing short of phenomenal as a team pairing for not just this season, but for a long time now. So really, it's all coming together about damn time too. So
absolutely, yeah. I think that was our first one too. So I'm very excited about that.
And it should have been a 1-2 here for you guys 2 seasons ago.
I am so mad about that one.
Hang on, that's against Paulie Hartman and Brian Anderson.
Yeah,
so
I don't think
that should have been a 3-4 for us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no way
they were
those
fast.
guys. Are you kidding me?
But it should have been 1-2, honestly, at Donington. But I really just blanked out on the pit entry. Like, wait, why am I pitting? Wait, why am I stuck here now? This is not right. I was so upset the entire second half. Of like, I shouldn't have been there. I should have just been out. I'd have been faster than him. My tires were still good. I just kept going. But here we are in Coda and picked it up again. So.
Well, definitely a redemption race for you, Thomas. And I mean, what a way to answer back. I do want to wrap this interview to a close. Of course, we did have both of you. So not to take either of you guys' moments away from the sunshine, but fantastic job again. If you guys don't have any questions, we can move on to shoutouts. But fellow commentators, what you got?
Well, Thomas, how about that qualifying?
Oh, yeah.
That was quite the lap there at the end.
Was on cloud 9 after that one. I was just unreal. It took me probably 4 laps to relax in the race after that. Just going, that was a lot of stress. Heart rate's up. Need to calm down. And luckily I had my teammate behind me helping keep the track clear behind me. So
I think he underperformed in qualifying, if you ask me. I mean, we were practicing last night. We were doing laps on the time trial server because we wanted to practice on the optimum track. And just for reference, just to throw some numbers at you, he hit a 2-minute 5.36 in qualifying just now. Last night, he 2-minute 5.122. So really, Thomas, you were off by 0.2. You need to pick it up, dude.
Sorry, that's a little cold. Track temperatures were a little cold. You know, tires not sticky as much.
All right. Well,
yeah. To watch that delta come down on the second half of that lap was crazy.
Yeah, it was really tense for sure.
For us, it was crazy for us. So can't imagine
lap at the death. All right, I'm just watching the Knicks game on the side.
One final question for you two. Obviously, on the surface, these two gentlemen are incredibly nice people. But what is the drive for survive secret dirtiness between the two of you?
Between the two of us? Oh no.
I was gonna say.
I hold a long-standing grudge against Mr. Olhausen because he made me install and play and learn Tarkov, and that's an awful game, and I hate it, and I regret it.
Oh, there we go. We're getting the juice now. What's the response, Mr. Thomas?
I'm just here to have a good time. I don't know what he's talking
Skill
about.
issue.
Perfect.
All right. Well, if that's it, you guys got any shout outs? You know, you can obviously shout out each other, and you know.
Yeah. Well, I got two special for this race. One is Kevin Blanchette. He taught us how to do the proper start procedure. I nailed it this race. If I didn't have a Mustang on my right, I would have been side by side with my teammate. I got it so good. And number two, I don't know if you guys talked about this on stream, but in the livery reveal, track reveal stream, this was a track that we voted on. It was either this or Coda or Mazzano.
This or Coda?
Martin Smith. I'm sorry, this or Olton. I apologize. Thank you for calling that. Coda, Olton, or Mazzano. Martin Smith donated 28,000 channel points.
That he did.
And carried the day to make this track happen. This victory was made possible because of him and Bailey. And there's a bunch of others that are on the list that I don't recognize. Anton's P7 with 5,000 channel points. Thank you, Anton.
Yeah, you got it. You're welcome. You know, I can't escape a chance to drive Coda. I love this track.
Hell yeah.
All right, Thomas, that leaves you. What you got?
Yeah, well, definitely the shout out to the teammate for holding back the track behind me. I mean, without that, getting settled in the first 5 laps would have been a different race. Let's put it that way. And then yeah, you guys for putting on a show for us. Can't wait to watch it. Really can't. It's gonna be a good one.
Absolutely. Well, we obviously appreciate your gracious presence in the booth whenever we can. So, one of the most wholesome teams on the grid. Always appreciate a chance to talk to you both. So hopefully, maybe you guys are crowned champions sooner than later, and we'll bring both of you back up in no time. But until then, fantastic race from the both of you. And I mean, probably the best case scenario in terms of team championships. So we'll see you on later on. I'm assuming next week, even and for sure in week 8. So bring the heat, bring the thunder. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward as well. I thank you guys again.
All right, well, we'll send you back down.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. The Knicks have a 7-point lead with 20 to go. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Not at home either. They're playing in San Antonio in game 1, and I am on top of the moon right now.
Surely they can't throw that, right? Like,
hey. Sorry, they have an 8-point lead. 8-point lead.
Surely they can't throw an 8-point lead.
Nobody in 20 seconds, that's like Tracy McGrady levels of craziness. Oh, okay, anyway. No, Jack. All right, well, that concluded round 6. And as Philip mentioned, this is a track that was voted upon by yours truly. The community had a vote during the reveal stream of season 18, and it was voted to be Coda. And what a choice it was. Provided some fantastic racing, provided some very opportunistic dive bombs from a certain Lamborghini driver tonight. But we are racing at Hungaroring next week, round 7. This is a variable race, so we've had one, of course, treacherous rain race with Monza. What a classic that was, with Sam Stott making a resurgence in Division 2, or showing the pace he's got, but Martin Smith taking the main victory there. Let's see if the Audi can come alive in these variable conditions again. But of course, we do also race over in Division 1 and 3 on Tuesdays, and at the same time at 9 p.m. over on Twitch and on YouTube, and Division 4 as well on YouTube at the same time as we stream this race on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to check those out if you do want some more SRA action. But until then, I have been Anton Richards, joined by Donovan, Colton, and Jack Krause. Boys, anything you want to take the stream out with?
Happy Whopper Wednesday. Celebrate responsibly.
Whopper Wednesday. Go Knicks. Let's go. Woohoo! Take that, Jason Allen. He's a Spurs fan. All right. Well, on that note, we are ending the stream. We'll see everybody back next week. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great Whopper Wednesday. See ya.
Coach Jeffries, what will I be? Will I be speedy? Will I crash out? Here's what he said to me.